On behalf of the 13th District and the City of Los Angeles, congratulations on this well-deserved honor. I have followed your remarkable career since your first appearance on the silver screen as Charles Jefferson in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. This was followed by other memorable performances, from your portrayal of jazz legend Charlie Parker in Bird to your Academy Award-winning performance in The Last King of Scotland in 2006. Each of these roles showcased your ability to transcend different genres, histories, characters, and stories. For this and so much more, we are thankful and honor you with this award.
Newport Beach was the perfect setting for an international film festival.
Kate Beckinsale.
Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm Milo Ventimiglia, and you're at the Newport Beach Film Festival.
You don't have to twist my arm to get me to Newport Beach. It's beautiful.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Newport Beach Film Festival. I'm Variety Senior Editor Michael Schneider, and we are, first of all, still sad that we're not back at the resort at Pelican Hill, but we will be getting back soon. The world is coming back, but we still have this year's Lifetime Achievement honoree with us. He is Oscar winner, Golden Globe winner, SAG winner, BAFTA winner, and now, of course, he is the executive producer and star of Epic's Godfather of Harlem, the one and only Forest Whitaker. Forest.
Hey, it's great to be here.
Good to see you. So, Forest, we're going to talk a little bit about your career, but why don't we kick things off by talking about Godfather of Harlem? It is such a tour de force for you as an actor and as an executive producer. Take me back to, give me a little bit of the origin story of how this project came together, how you got involved, and what enticed you to play Bumpy.
Well, originally I was approached by Marquand Smith and James Atchison. They came to me with an idea about doing something about Bumpy Johnson. And we started to look at his life, and we realized that there was a period, like in the 60s, that was really relevant. His relationship with Malcolm X and his relationship with Adam Clayton Powell. And so we decided to develop out of there. And so we went to a writer, that was with Chris Brancato, and decided to embark on it. At first I was just in it as a producer, but later I decided to be able to play the character, and it was a great journey from there.
You know, we all know Malcolm X, we all know Adam Clayton Powell, but maybe Bumpy Johnson wasn't as well known in the public consciousness. So what did you sort of learn as you were doing your research and sort of got into preparing for this?
I didn't understand the complexity of the man. Originally I knew that he was a mobster and a drug dealer. I didn't realize his relationships with his family. How he dealt with his children. I didn't understand. He was a master chess player. He was a poet that was published. He's a strategist. He was one of the few people that was able to interface from Harlem into like the Italian mafia and work with them to be able to move things forward. And so that was really interesting. But honestly, I think the thing that was most interesting was like going on a journey with him, where you see this man who comes out of prison and who's been kind of pushed upon by the world and like violent in his own life. And he starts to become more conscious. I think what we watch as the progression of the show goes is him slowly becoming more conscious. His relationship with Malcolm X influences his life and the way he thinks and sees the world. So at some point he even starts to try to organize within the crime families in a way that was proactive, very much towards the civil rights movement in the sense of his relationship with Malcolm X and different things of that nature. So it was really interesting to get to play all those different things.
I saw a recent interview where you mentioned that you were sort of starting to feel a little disillusioned with acting, and that actually working on Jingle Jangle sort of brought you back, brought some sort of life and light back to acting. Talk a little bit about that and sort of the journey for you in acting and coming to a point where maybe you were ready to sort of do something different.
Yeah, I think I was hanging by a thread, but it's a thread of being able to take care of my family and stuff too. So I had to figure out what I was going to do. I think I was having a really hard time. I was finding no joy in the work. I wasn't progressing, not getting better. Wasn't looking forward to doing the work. It became like a true job, a chore that I had to do, and I had lost that sort of exploration, because originally I was like, I'm delving into every character and I'm going to go to it and I'm going to find the link between each character I play and myself till everything is one, so we're all the same. I lost that search, you know. I think I lost my purpose. My purpose was to just do that discovery, and so it took a long time. I was doing work and people were telling me it was okay. I was like, it's not so good, really. You know, it didn't have like a spark of like imagination and exploration, you know. And yeah, I did a movie with David Talbert, you know, and he had such enthusiasm about things in life and what the project we were doing, and there was some magic that was happening. It felt like magic when I was walking on. Everybody was like coming out of some Disney movie or something, like they were so happy. You know, they'd be like, hi, good morning. Everybody's working so hard on that little piece of corner of the world when I was on that project, that it really sparked something in me, and it started to come back alive a little bit. And then I think film afterwards, I was starting to do my work a little better, and then actually towards the last end of Godfather, like maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, whatever, I started getting better. I made a decision to allow him to evolve so he could enjoy life in a different way, not be frozen. And that's what I was, frozen.
Yeah. Well, I can see that spark too, in sort of your interactions with some of the your great co-stars on Godfather, like Vincent D'Onofrio and Giancarlo Esposito. You've really championed a lot of great young new filmmakers. Yeah, Boots Riley from Sorry to Bother You. Ryan Coogler, Fruitvale Station. Roxanne, Dope, Songs My Brothers Taught Me. Next up, you have Passing from Rebecca Hall. I mean, you've managed to, you have an eye for finding some really great talent and championing them early in their career. Talk a little bit about that and sort of, you know, your pride in sort of helping to elevate some of these young filmmakers.
You have to give them a platform to be able to support their work, because they have so much to say, and it's been so I've been working on that even before I had a company called Spirit Dance, and we did about 4 or 5 films. It was mostly all new filmmakers that were trying to speak, and I wanted to like help them be able to get their voice out to the world. And then now with Nina Yang, my partner, we've been able to I think encourage like new filmmakers and hold them up as best we can to be able to do the work and be able to get their voices out there, because they're artists on their own. We're just lucky that we were able to recognize what great depth they had as people and artists at an early stage. You know, I mean, I knew that Chloe Zhao was an auteur, a great filmmaker, just from my conversations with her and what she was doing. You know, and Ryan was passionate. I mean, it was like a meeting with him. We like to know that this person has a lot to say. Sometimes it's just to lend a playing ground for them to be able to express and to be able to create.
Speaking of films that are coming up, tell me a little bit about Respect and you know, working on that project, you know, with Jennifer Hudson. I mean, that's sort of a, you know, we're looking forward to that. I know that film was sort of delayed by COVID. I think we're finally going to get to see it soon. But what was that experience like in working with Jennifer?
I love working with Jennifer. Actually, this is the 3rd time I played her dad, you know.
That's.
We always really get along really well. She's really talented. We actually won the Academy Award on the same night together, so we were like got to see each other. You know that. Yeah. So there's a bond already, you know, in so many different ways, you know. But she's beautiful as Aretha. I mean, I play her father. I play, you know, her dad, who's a preacher. Mm-hmm. You know, is very famous for this style of preaching called hooping. And who was also a civil rights activist. You know, he did marches with Martin. They were very close friends, and Martin Luther King. And but we watched this Svengali-like person like trying to mold his daughter and force her to do things in the way he does, and a lot of it's about her expressing her freedom in her music and in her life. And so I think it's going to be an interesting film for people to see, you know, that don't know anything about Aretha. Because Jennifer plays moments that show some of the struggles that she had in her life.
Yeah, Yeah, no, such a fascinating story, the whole story of Aretha Franklin. I love the fact that this is now a common thing. You're just going to continue to play her father, I hope, in several more films.
Yeah.
So speaking of, you mentioned the Oscars, we gotta mention that quite a career highlight, and of course all those accolades you got for Last King of Scotland. Do you still think about that moment? Do you still remember that moment on stage? Does that pop up as sort of a seminal moment in your career, or what do you remember about winning that Oscar?
I mean, you're sitting there and then you hear your name, and it's like an electric shock going through you, as you get up. I think the thing I remembered most was like probably that one of the things was that the other actors that were all up for the same role were all standing and giving me support and stuff, and that was pretty impressive, And I got a chance to try to speak to my community and stuff and tell them to believe that they can accomplish anything that they want, no matter what their circumstances may seem. It's that kind of a thing that's been the driver for me, to believe. And that's why when I lost that feeling, it was very detrimental to me as an artist.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you got that feeling back. I'm curious, by the way, when people, because you have such a body of work now, what is it that people most ask you about these days? Which project, or do they just have another burning question like, why do you keep playing Jennifer Hudson's dad, or what's the sort of the burning question people have for you?
I've been really fortunate since I started my career. I don't really play the same character too much. And so the people that come to me are like, talk to me, they talk about different films. Like some people might talk about, Black Panther, maybe kids know that, and maybe they know Jingle Jangle, or maybe they know Star Wars. And then there's like an artistic group that maybe they know some obscure movies, or maybe they know Ghost Dog, or, and it's got its own cult following, or Last King because of the kind of intensity that was in that character. So it's interesting, like it's people from all different walks, and it's kind of refreshing for me.
Yeah, no, I imagine, and you're one of the few folks who both Star Wars and Marvel. You're part of both worlds. So, I'm sure every once in a while, people who think they're clever, and this is going to include me, bring up, which is, what do you remember about Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Oh, okay.
And is that still crazy to think that you were in that film?
Yeah, it was the start of a lot of our careers, with Sean and Phoebe and Nick Cage,
Yeah.
I remember that we were all like young, we were like working, and I was in character and stuff, and I remember Sean and David, a kid who was playing my brother, was like behind me, like discussing stealing my bag. It was like we weren't working, we were just like walking around living, and I remember that conversation of them like in character, like trying to steal my bag, and I guess it was kind of like a big start, kind of my start, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
that was the kind of elating moment for me, as an actor.
From there, you actually were, speaking of being in iconic sort of franchises, you're in two of the most iconic movies about the Vietnam War ever, Good Morning Vietnam and Platoon. Do you have any specific sort of memories of sort of that moment in time and sort of appearing in those films right around the same time?
I remember auditioning over and over again for Platoon, and then at one point Oliver had me in the room, and he would keep bringing in actors, but I would still get to stay and read with him and stuff. And I'm like, do I have the part? And he'd tell me yet, and I'd leave and yell out the window, do better, you know what I mean? And I remember really well. And I remember, Platoon was unique because we all went, and we kind of went through a method experience of the character. We were like given like a shovel, clothes were taken, we were given new clothes, we had to dig a hole, and they said, that's where you're gonna sleep for the next 2 weeks, And we would be out in the jungle, learning about jungle warfare, we get attacked by the Marines, we get lost, not have any water or food, before we started the film. So that was a unique experience for any kind of filmic experience, that we all went through this experience. And then at the end, when we were gonna start, they took us on a bus and they drove us to a river, and they said, start crossing the river. And then they said, okay, start, action. and they started shooting the film from the camp where we were in the jungle. I think the other one, like Good Morning Vietnam, Robin Williams was just a unique person, you know, just a really special man. And it's just mind-boggling, you know, like the way he thinks, and he was a special guy. So.
Two more films I want to get to, because Bird was obviously your first big starring role, and I think that was sort of, you know, the huge sort of propelled your career. That and The Crying Game, of course, two films that really sort of brought you front and center in this world, and that's when things really took off for you. What do you remember about that sort of moment in time, you know, starting with Bird and sort of bringing you to the forefront?
Bird was like an important film for me, you know, really one of the most important films for me. First, because it's the first time I ever was trusted to play a leading role like that. I wasn't sure, you know, Clint was very sure. When I went in, I met with him, we didn't audition, he looked at a tape and I said, I think he gave me the part, you know, and I went and bought a sax that afternoon, and I just like find out later that the sax is broken and stuff, and I'd been trying to make it sound good. When they gave me a real sax, I realized how easy it was to make the sound after all the struggle I had with it. You know, and then we went to Cannes with the movie. I was just a young kid, you know, and I won the Palme d'Or, and I wasn't expecting that. I had no idea about that kind of thing. I had never even done hardly any press before in my career. You know, I was with like one of the biggest stars in the world, and everybody's screaming his name, Clint. And when I like win this award as best actor, I was like the youngest and the first black actor almost to win the award, and it made the international world like look at my work in a different way. I think it made some people really recognize me as an artist, and allowed me to make all these choices, diverse choices, like this doctor, this dictator, this whatever, you know, police officer, this federal guy, this drunk, you know, whatever it might be. It allowed people to see that I could maybe do that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And you know, and then look at this career, and I'm so glad that you've found that new spark, and so much more to come with you know, Godfather of Harlem and Respect and everything else that's coming up as well. Before we go, Forrest, we have a few messages from a few friends of yours who want to say a thing or two as you pick up this Lifetime Achievement Award.
I'm so glad to help celebrate Forrest's award at the Newport Beach Film Festival with Variety. Your lifetime should be celebrated.
Congratulations, Forest Whitaker, on your Lifetime Achievement Award. It is so well deserved.
I just wanted to reach out to you today to say congratulations on receiving the Newport Beach Film Festival Lifetime Achievement Award.
Hey, Forrest. Word on the street is that you are being given a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Newport Beach Film Festival.
I've had the honor of knowing Forrest for many, many, many years, and I'm really, really astounded at how he is able to not only develop, act, direct, and produce projects that have integrity, moral value, and affect us all on a very deep and personal level. Most recently, I've been able to work with Forrest on Godfather of Harlem.
You are so amazing. I am such a fan and so honored to be able to work with you not once, twice, 3 times as your daughter in Respect and many other projects.
You have provided a lifetime of great memories for the world throughout your career, and today, like all of the other accolades, this achievement is very much and well deserved.
I'll never forget walking into my callback and not knowing you were going to be there and being very nervous. But by the end of my scene, we both had tears in our eyes, and I just remember being so comfortable. And I remember thinking, what a remarkable performer and producer to be so present and so open.
When I was driving him around, skidding around corners and doing all sorts of things, I happened to reveal to him that I've never driven before, and I don't even have a driver's license. And he stays in character and gives his incredible Oscar-winning performance. And as much as that's kind of funny, we did nearly die seconds later when the crew failed to lock down the road, and a pedestrian car just came by and nearly T-boned us, and my bad driving contributed to that. Nonetheless, he's so immersed, he's so committed, he's so incredible, he's such an example that he continued to give his Oscar-winning performance.
I think everybody here recognizes your great talent and your incredible and enviable body of work. But for me, the work you do off camera makes you almost as deserving, if not more, maybe, than the work you do on camera. And I'm so glad to see you be recognized for this award.
Forrest, congratulations. It's an honor knowing you. I love and adore what you do, your commitment, courage, and your integrity and morality in every project that you touch really reaches down deep into all of our hearts and souls, allowing us to know that you are a visionary, deserving of every honor and every compliment that you are receiving right now.
I am so grateful that I've gotten to work with you, and I look forward to everything that you and we get to do in the future. Congratulations.
You are truly a man of the people, for the people. And I hope that you take this day to celebrate this achievement of yours the way you celebrate everybody else's. Mwah! Until next time, big, big love. Enjoy your day, and congrats again. Peace.
You're fabulous. I love you. Congratulations.
Congratulations, brother. Forest Whitaker. It's all in the name. What else needs to be said?
Congratulations, Forrest, on the Newport Beach Film Festival Lifetime Achievement Award. I can't think of anyone more deserving.
You're an absolute legend, mate, and you are an example to us all. All the best, man. Have a great night.
We celebrate you. I love you. Congratulations.
Congratulations again. Thank you so much for joining us. The Newport Beach Film Festival Lifetime Achievement Award for this year. Forest Whitaker, star and executive producer of Epix's Godfather of Harlem. Forest, congratulations and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.